What's going on? My name is Bim. First of all, thank you guys very much. We have reached our 1,000 sub goal, which isn't a lot. I admit that's nothing in the land of YouTube, but it is enough to get my channel monetized. You know, just being able to reach that goal has given me enough motivation to continue. So thank you guys very much. But it's been probably 4 months since my last video. I think the last video I uploaded was even before the whole lockdown started here in Manila. And that's because we were preparing for the arrival. Oh shit. Something fell. Alright. And that's because we were preparing for the arrival of our daughter, Ellie. She was born a few weeks ago. She is a little bundle of cuteness. And she may or may not be named after a particular female protagonist of a PlayStation video game franchise. Don't tell my wife that's where I got the name. She agreed to it anyway, so it's fine. But you know, I found some time to shoot a video today. I went back to the old place. I begged my wife if I could go back and shoot for an afternoon because I really wanted to talk to you guys about, this is the thing that fell, the Razer Raion. This is Razer's fight pad. It's endorsed by Markman, right there. Markman, grabbed in all Razer gear. $100, $4,995. Oh, about $100. It's pricey for a controller. I have a stick. I have 7, 8 DualShock 4s. I have a bunch of other controllers. Does it make sense? Will it give you an edge in fighting games? Well, that's what we're here to find out. And here we have the Razer Raion out of the box. You've got the Razer logo right here. You've got 6 face buttons, the 4 PlayStation face buttons, and R1, R2. All fight pads are configured this way, I find. You've got the PlayStation home button, share button, options button, mic mute, and volume. And if you press them together at the same time, this enables competition mode, where I think the home button and the share button and the options buttons are all disabled. You've also got your nice clicky, very clicky. You can hear that, right? Can you hear that? Wait. Mic's back here. You've got a very, very, very clicky D-pad. And you've got buttons that sound like, almost like arcade sticks. Arcade buttons, arcade stick buttons. You hear that, right? Wait, let me grab my stick. Although I am rocking silence. So this is what my stick sounds like. But these are soundless silence. Almost as good as an arcade stick would sound and feel, fairly similar. The buttons are a little, you know, of course, smaller than you would find on a stick, but bigger than a regular. Okay, I've got a DualShock 4 here to compare. Where is it? This is a DualShock 4. That's the size of the face buttons, and these are the size of the Raion face buttons. They are significantly bigger, easier to hit. Bottom end, you've got switching from D-pad, left stick, right stick. Mic, I think the mic, the audio function only works on a PlayStation 4. I'm switching from the shoulder buttons from L1, R1, L2, R2 to L3, R3, L1, L2. And I have it configured this way. Yeah, so that's essentially it. You've also got a switch here for PC or PS4, depending on what you're going to be using it for. This just enables, like, I think the audio. The cable is nice too, very long. It's not braided. Would have been great if it were braided, but it's still of a fairly good quality. It's really long, actually. For $100, I expected this to feel a little more premium, you know, but I think the choice in plastic is, while not as premium feeling, it feels pretty good because it's light. I think when people say, okay, it feels plasticky, this is what they mean, right? So the feel is quite plasticky, not as premium as even, let's say, an 8-bit SN30 Pro Plus, you know? Especially the buttons. The buttons feel quite plasticky, but in a good way, because I think they're lighter and they sound great. The D-pad is actually where this thing shines. Okay, on a DualShock 4, on a regular DualShock 4, you've got four directions, four cardinal directions, right? If you want a down forward motion or a down forward diagonal down forward input, you press these two at the same time, yeah? It's because you've only got four. On the Raion, which has one switch per direction, you just have to press in between these. There's a switch here, and that's down forward, or down back, or up forward, yeah? Issue is, for me, okay, for me, because I guess I lack the brain cells, there's a learning curve to it, of course, like anything, right? Inputs that require, for Tekken at least, full crouch forward motion. On a pad, on a regular pad, I would go full crouch and then kind of lift my finger, well, not lift, but move it without really lifting from down to forward, yeah, to get the down forward, full crouch down forward. If you do that motion on this thing, you're gonna get a while standing attack because you kind of move your finger away from down. If your finger reaches forward, you have let go of these two switches. So to do a full crouch down forward, all you have to do is hold down and then move slightly this way. For movement and inputs, I find it to be super accurate, right? Super accurate, especially for Street Fighter. So Dragon Punch, you just kind of move your fingers this way. DP, to do Guile's attacks, for charge characters, it's really easy. In fact, I find using the Razer Raion for Street Fighter easier than I would a stick. The combos that I used to struggle with on a stick, I find easier on the Razer Fight Pad or Raion. That is a personal preference thing. That is a me thing, right? It doesn't necessarily mean you are going to have the same experience. And it's all relative, like whatever you're used to, right? So to me, Street Fighter, I prefer playing Street Fighter on this thing than a stick. And I prefer a stick over a pad on Street Fighter. Okay, for Tekken, the reason why I wanted this is because I wanted face buttons that are really easy to press because I main King. On a regular pad, if you're gonna do oh, that's dirty. If you're gonna do chain grabs, it gets really hard because these things are so tight. They're so small. They're really kind of compact together. As opposed to this thing where you really kind of have a feel for each individual button like you would on a stick. Just a little smaller. A problem is, and again, this is a me thing, this is a BIM thing. I don't play claw. I play conventional. Like this, like an idiot. So, when I play conventional like this, and let's say I land a grab, the start of a chain grab, I have to let go, put the stick or the pad on my thigh, and start inputting the chain grab things, which doesn't always work out the way I want it to. So for Tekken, I actually don't like using it. Weirdly enough, I don't like using the Raion on Tekken because I lose more control having to transition from conventional to claw whenever, depending on the situation, right? The Razer Raion is a great controller, but of course it has a learning curve that you are going to have to overcome. However, if you are already super used to playing claw on a regular pad, you are going to fucking love this thing. It sounds and feels great. My backdash sucks, but this is what it looks like on a pad. This is what it looks like on a stick. And this is what it looks like on the Razer Raion. I actually find backdashing on the Raion easier. But that said, everything else I have trouble with. At least for Tekken, because Street Fighter seems to be easier. Things like the giant swing. I usually miss the down input. So I go from forward, back, down, and then I don't know why. I think it's because I go too fast across the down, that I go from forward, back to down, forward, and forward. I miss the down consistently. So I don't get a giant swing. I end up with, you know, that pile driver grab. I think if you're the type of player to really keep at a controller and really learn the ins and outs of it, I think the Razer Raion's a great controller. Is it worth $100? Maybe not. Here's another thing that I kind of don't like about it, is that its positioning, its symmetry, especially the shape of it, makes, like, 'cause these are grips, right? It makes you kind of gravitate towards playing it conventionally. Unlike the Hori Fighting Commander, where there's a grip here, there's none on this side. So you can play it conventionally if you'd like, but it also lends itself more to claw players who want to play this flat. Right now, this thing it's shaped like a conventional controller. So at least for me, I tend to hold it like this. It's really, really good if you're looking for something that's easy to carry around, bring to tournaments, bring over to a friend's house, bring to, I don't know, your locals. Because over a stick, because one of the reasons why I got this thing is because I thought because lugging a stick around and pulling your stick out just to play a few rounds, it's so cumbersome. This thing is light and it's small and it's easy to pack away. It's like a pad, a little bigger than a pad, really. See, but you know, not much bigger compared to a stick. The stick's fucking massive. Look at this shit. It's huge compared to this thing. So you know, it has its pros, it has its cons, but I think the cons are overcomable with practice and if you're already used to doing grip. So worth $100? Maybe not. Maybe not $100. If it were a little cheaper, I would probably be more inclined to recommend it. But if you know, if you've got $100 lying around and you find this thing lacking for Street Fighter, and you don't want a stick because it's too big and too heavy, this thing is right up your alley. All right, this has been Bim. I am losing my voice and I've got to get back to my baby. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.